are talking our primetime games. But first things first, introductions. I'm your boy T-Ball. As always, right over here, my boy, Mr. Bradley.
What's up, guys? Let's talk about this first primetime key game. We gave you the Packers and 49ers. Go back and watch that if you haven't seen that yet. Ravens 5-2, Colts 5-2, T-Ball. Two powerful teams. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, Colts are actually 6-0 all-time versus Baltimore. The Ravens, it's a good thing they're on the road this week because they are actually 3-0 on the road, 2-2 at home. It's a funny thing because last year we saw the Colts in the same spot. They were 5-2. But they ended up losing the last 7 of their 9 games last year.
Yeah, but you got to think that's Kobe Brissett or whatever it is.
Yeah, true. A little different team. So I'm hoping, that trend doesn't, continue here, with the start of this Ravens game. One thing the Colts are going to have to look out for is that Ravens defense. They're blitzing half the time, at least 49% of the time.
Great defense.
The Colts also have one of the top defenses. Rivers has been looking good the last couple of games.
I told you, dog. You've been doubting him all year.
Dude, he hit 11 different receivers last week.
Phenomenal.
But the Ravens defense ain't no joke either. They sacked Ben 2 times last week. The Colts are number 1 in sacks allowed. I think if the Ravens can run the ball like they did last week, they should have a problem beating the Colts. Yeah, the thing is I don't know if it's Lamar Jackson or just the Ravens themselves, but relying heavily on the run to get them in a position to where Lamar Jackson doesn't have to do that much through the air. But that, situation hasn't really been working out for them too well this year, and then it's forcing Lamar Jackson to fit these balls into places or make throws he normally wouldn't. With that being said, I'm going to take the Ravens in this one just due to the mere fact that I feel like if the Ravens stick to the game plan I'm about to put out, run heavy that first half, pass when you're in the red zone. I think if the Ravens limit the passing turnovers and they run the ball and they control the clock, the Ravens should have no problem. Should be a really, really defensive game. I have the Ravens edging the Colts out.
Yeah, you got to think about it. Both these teams have phenomenal defenses. The Colts, like you were just telling me earlier before the show, just took the number 1 defensive spot, and now it's the Steelers at number 2 because the Ravens ran all over them last week. But they forced turnovers, and that's what you got to do and make Lamar Jackson pass the ball. Yeah, we know he can run. We know that team can run with Edwards and him, and they do that whole option play all the time, and teams are sniffing it out. They know what you're doing now. Like, they should have won last week if it weren't for turnovers versus the Steelers, but that was last week. This is a different week. And like I've been saying all year long, the Colts are so under the radar right now because of all the other powerful AFC teams that no one's talking about them. They're going to end up being like 10-2 at one point. People are going to be like, holy shit, we got to look out for this team. Great defense. You got a great, future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And, it's funny because they don't even really have that many weapons. The problem I have here is the whole Lamar Jackson thing. The best passing game we've seen all year long was week 1.
Yeah.
He hasn't been passing the ball. I'm not understanding why. I love the guy. I said it before he came out when he was the 32nd overall pick. In one of the previous podcasts, I was like, man, I love this guy. It's a great fit for them. This is a steal in the first round. Yeah. If he could just figure out how to be a pocket passer first and then use his legs when he needs to or when they do their option play. I have the Colts winning this game because they've been sneaky good and just sliding by teams, and people haven't noticed. And Phillip Rivers does what he has to do week in and week out, and then his defense helps him out on the other half of the time. That's what you want, a balanced offense with a defense.
Yeah.
The Ravens are averaging 29 points per game, and the Colts are right there at 28.3, dead even pretty much, allowing points per game. The Ravens are only allowing 18.9, 19.4 for the Colts.
Yeah.
Total yards allowed.
So this game should be literally almost like a flip of a coin.
Yeah, it's a defensive thing. Total
Which you
yards
wouldn't think
allowed.
of it like historically looking at the game. You're like, oh, Ravens should blow the Colts out of the water. But, don't like you mentioned, don't take the Colts too lightly. They're sneaking in here.
It's the problem what they have is the run game because, Mac got hurt, and then now they're relying on Jonathan Taylor, my boy from Wisconsin. But, he's a rookie, and not every rookie can plug in and do what Barkley did,
or McCaffrey,
these guys like this. Like, it's just not going to happen. And I think that's one of their downfalls. You're going to see a lot of passing in this game by the Colts. They're going to have to, and they're going to have to be quick because that defense is fast.
Yeah.
But I like the Colts here. I think it's a very close game. There's no reason why it shouldn't be because these defenses are so good. They're top 4, number 1, number 4.
Yeah.
It's just the problem I have is the pass. The 31st for the Ravens. Like I said, he's got to get the passing going. If they do that, Imagine how dangerous this team is for the Ravens on offense.
Just imagine where Lamar Jackson was as far as the passing game was this time last year.
Right.
Which is the big downfall we've seen this year coming off an MVP.
That's what got him beat in the playoffs.
It's weird. But, it should be a great game. I got the Ravens. He's got the Colts. That's that primetime game. We got more of them, guys. Let us know what you like. Tell us what you hear. Make sure, you give us the information you got as well.